Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Sorry, I had to spray my throat real quick.
Come on, throat goat.
Oh, gosh. So I'm not doing a lot of talking today like I haven't been for the past 2 days on the show.
Correct.
My voice has been shot. But Holly, what's going on today?
So happy St. Patrick's Day.
Woo-woo.
St. Patrick's Day podcast. And this is where Miguel will normally tell you that you can find our other podcasts in the same place that, you would probably find any podcast. You can get the Miguel and Holly full show, like the individual segments, Blown Off, Queen City Secret, Queen City Confessions. Shout out to what we used to call it. All those are streaming through anywhere you would listen to podcasts. And thank you for being here on Miguel and Holly Uncensored. So this is a Friday, St. Patrick's Day version of the podcast. And since it is a Friday, we have our, I hesitate to say psychic medium, but I say that so that you can most easily and quickly get a grasp for who Soul Worker Stacy is. But she doesn't really go by those terms. She has a gift. And she can read people. She reads people who have passed, maybe in relation to said human person that's living. Or she also sometimes gets feelings about what you should be doing with your life, present and future. So that's who Soul Worker Stacy is, and she's going to be joining us today.
Can she read me to filth?
Probably so.
Yes. Yeah, if she can, I will. Don't worry.
I know Miguel will.
Speaking of, we need to go over, before we get to Stacy and our Platypus Posse members that are going to be read today. Let's do a little fashion show, shall we?
Boy.
For St. Patrick's Day, because now that we are actually, not on the air but on the podcast.
Yay!
Before we get to Holly O'Connor, who obviously is very Irish.
Yeah.
Has been celebrating St. Patrick's Day forever.
Yeah.
Let's go to the boy from South Florida, from Miami.
Yeah. Producer Kelvin.
I'm a man, first of all.
Nasty.
Oh, man.
Nasty for St. Patrick's Day.
What you got
Look
on?
at you. Don't try to cover it up, bitch. Don't try to cover it up, you nasty
Full
bitch.
screen.
First of all, you bitch. I would like to apologize to Zenda and Angela, for my language and for my shirt. And basically, the reason why...
Did you not think that we would have to talk about this today? Like, is this the only St. Patrick's Day shirt you have?
This is the only St. Patrick's Day shirt I have.
Wow.
So the reason why I went to the mall yesterday and I realized that I needed pants because we've been here for, this 40, 30 degree weather. And I saw that Spencer's had a 75% off sale. So I was like, oh, this is cute. And this will keep me nice and warm.
Wait,
right.
this is new. I thought that you only pulled this out because you had it in college. I'm embarrassed now.
Okay,
I'm
now
embarrassed.
remember, we got, people watching on
Yes.
Facebook, but this is a podcast. So
Right.
describe what it is for people that are just listening.
It's a big, long-sleeved hockey shirt. And so I felt like, okay, like it's St. Patrick's Day, like it's party vibes.
Yeah.
And so the front of it says,
Read it.
good fuck charm.
Yeah, it sure enough does.
And I thought I was just going to stick to the producer's room and not go out. And I realized, like, I do like to get some coffee and some water. And so it's very awkward. I'm just trying to, like, go to the kitchen. At the back part, which I just discovered today, says something. Hold on.
Turn around and
Oh,
Holly
dear
read it.
God. The back of this hockey jersey. I can't believe you wore this to a professional building. Okay.
Girl,
It says the number 69 on it. And across the jersey back, like where the player's name, it says Pat McDick. Pat McDick. Pat.
Oh, I didn't even get that reference
didn't
until
know
just
that.
now.
Are you kidding?
I didn't. I was just like, oh,
What do you think it was?
in my head, how I said it was McDick, not Pat McDick.
Pat McDick.
Yeah.
Like, that is a shirt that you wear out at the club tonight at 11:59 p.m. as you are sloshed on green beer and you're running into people. That is not a shirt for 5 a.m.
That was my intention, but I didn't think it through. And I was like, well, I don't have any other green stuff.
Oh, dear.
So okay, this is if you listen to the show and you've never watched this on Instagram or Facebook before, this is the moment we're going to have to put as a reel. I want you to show Holly what you came in here to my studio when how you've been walking around the building when you have left your room.
I go and I do this. And I'm like,
okay,
doing this.
So, okay, if you're listening to this and not seeing it, it says good F charm very large on the front. So Kelvin is holding his can of soda strategically over the F and also giving the peace sign over the F. So it might look like it's luck.
Good luck charm.
Yeah.
But then when you see Pat my dick on the back,
that's a whole different thing.
All right, you nasty. All right, let's go to the actual. The woman who is from Ireland.
Oh yeah, my ancestors in Cork County, Ireland.
Yes. Holly, what do you have on for St. Patrick's Day today?
All right, I've chosen my Sham Rock My World shirt today. So that, and I have my large shamrock beads. They're actually just clovers. They're not shamrocks. And I'm like, it's whatever. I don't think they are. Isn't shamrocks four?
Yeah,
maybe they don't have to be four.
No,
they're not four. It's fine. But I think they could still be considered shamrocks. Anyway, so they got these giant beads. I think they were left over from Gasparilla one time. I don't know. And I have my my Irish whistle. In case anyone's not wearing green, I have to blow it at them. I did it because keep in mind, we're still new here. Like, just like in Charlotte, I'm still in Tampa right now. And these people, we did this last year, but we were so new. It was very nobody really knew yet who we were. So I walked past some people and this guy in a room over there was doing his thing. And he's like, you're very jangly today. Cause every time I walk, it sounds like I'm fucking Scrooge and Marley with my chains. So anyway, and I was like, wait, are you wearing green? I heard
that curse word, by the way.
All right.
$5. Don't think.
Let check in.
I know, thanks. And so I was like, and it was so loud. And he was like startled. I'm like, oh, sorry. It was supposed to be funny. It's not. Never mind. I'm sorry. You don't have to wear green. You know, I just meant to go to the bathroom. It's fine.
Look at Holly making friends everywhere.
Yes.
Always. I got my little green, Madonna style mesh hand glove things.
I like those.
I have, thank you. I have a little jaunty hat. That's a headband, actually. It has a little green hat with sparkles on it. And the button that says "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" that I've literally had since first grade. So
I love it. Come on.
I forgot. Wait. I forgot this thing down here.
Restart
it's like a little handkerchief.
Yes. Holly, do you have some green underwear on too?
No.
No? Okay.
They're not green. They're maroon.
No,
Sorry.
that's fine. That's fine. That's good enough. All right, real quick, because we have some people waiting. They're like, we are not here for all this. Here's my St. Patrick's Day.
Miguel's shirt says, have you seen this leprechaun? Last seen in Alabama. If seen, say yeah.
Like a leprechaun to me. I gotta do look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah. I wanna know where to go. I wanna know where to go. Give me the go. I wanna know where to go. I wanna know where to go.
Okay, that's enough. All right.
It's the amateur sketch of the Google Mobile Alabama leprechaun. You'll thank me later.
All right, let's get to why we're here. Let's bring her on, the one, the only, Miss Soul Worker Stacy.
Welcome, and she's got green on.
Hello. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
How's it going?
Kelvin, I freaking love you.
I love you.
I want that jersey.
You know,
after
all this criticism,
I will encourage you to wear that anywhere.
No,
thank you.
No,
do not
don't encourage
I'm just
this.
in the spirit.
No.
It's perfect.
Oh my gosh, Holly, you're taking over from here. My voice is done for the day.
All right, you're right. I'm sorry. So, welcome. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to lead this. I don't know.
Stacy, how are things going for St. Patrick's Day in the world? Where are we? What are you feeling before we bring on our first Platypus Posse member?
You know, it's interesting that you even asked that because I was thinking about this morning. it's like there's a whole new energy and vibe this week. And I don't know if it's because, wow, 3 years ago the world ended and we're just like coming out of that new rebirth of things, or if it's just simply finally, because when you really think about it, this is the first real holiday we've had that we're going out and we're going to go do stuff. And we're back to having wall-to-wall schedules, and we're back to looking at each other going, do we really want to leave the house? If personally I miss COVID.
Can we have, wait a second though, because there's some astrological stuff going on. I don't know.
There is.
Yeah, there is. So I know, and I don't know how to phrase it the best, but there is a lot of different planets that have shifted over the past week. Like in March, I know that Saturn, I think, was one of them that went from I'm gonna get it wrong. Like for all of the stuff, like I read it and I research it, but I can't like repeat it. So it's like I think Saturn has moved from Capricorn to Aquarius. Don't hold me to that, but like, so that means that Capricorn is very structured, very like everything has to be the certain way, and Aquarius is very like, greasy. And so that's like a big switch. And then there have been other, like Pluto went to a different thing. Like a lot of the different planets have shifted to different signs, and it's a big shift. And I think I saw somewhere on TikTok that like we haven't had this type of planetary energy since 17
wars. Yeah.
Since the French Revolution.
Yes.
A lot of revolution type energy happening.
Yes.
And that doesn't always happen overnight, but that's literally what happened when we started the month of March.
And I want to remember, again, don't quote us on this, but I want to also say it was during, like, I think it was World War I or World War II. Every single time the planets are in this conjunction, big things are happening around the world. It's not small. Yeah. You know, it's very, very interesting how it's all going. There's also something going on with Uranus. And if you're in relationships, you're going to have lots of squabbles for the next couple of days.
I saw that.
Yes.
So
that FYI.
If you had been working on yourself and like keeping that open communication, you should be okay. You've got the possibility of running into some things, but you could be okay. And what the other thing I wanted to what was the other thing?
While you think about it, I was also going to mention that speaking of the French Revolution, they're like that's happening in France right now because they're talking about upping the retirement age, and so people are walking out and they're like, this is not how we do it here. So it makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of that very I guess revolutionary energy happening right now. And so yeah, relationships are kind of, you could get into some stuff, but also in life, it's like we're really turning over a new leaf. It's just not going to be overnight. But I think that's part of the energy that it's interesting. I was interested that you said
3
that
years.
Different.
It's all going to be within 3 years. And what's weird last night, and this is okay, we talk about dreams and energy. I dreamed about whales all night last night.
Whales.
And I'm talking like strange, like Kiko the whale from Free Willy. Yeah, don't judge me, Miguel. Anyway, it's a big deal. I was dreaming of like literally orcas and humpback whales and belugas. And I mean, it was crazy. And it was all very positive, but it was like one of those things of like, okay, I've got to remember and look this up. I was like, no, I'm going to mention this on the podcast first because, you know, everybody comes to me.
I have really good news for you. I had to Google it real quick. So it says, some believe whales are associated with peace, serenity, spirituality, and tranquility. The appearance of a whale in a dream can signify that everything is or will be okay and is often related to spiritual matters of the mind, which I feel like is a lot in your realm.
Yeah.
Right now. Compassion, knowledge of both life and death, creativity. So there you go.
Fascinating.
So it's not Kelvin. It's good stuff.
Hey, you know, it's for one. Never mind. Yeah.
All right. Well,
just tell me a whale.
Let's get to our ladies.
Yes, please.
All right, Holly, set this up for us, please.
Okay, so we've got a couple of MNH fan members that Soul Worker Stacy is going to read, and Miguel, Kelvin, and I will, of course, step back here in just a second. But I wanted to introduce you to our first fan member, Zinda, who is often seen in the comments section whenever we do an Uncensored live, and so I was excited that Zinda gets to be a part of the show today. So Zinda, as we talked about, just be open and to receive whatever Stacy's got to give you. And this is the part where Miguel, Kelvin, I will, kind of just back off and let the two of you chat.
Awesome.
Good morning, Zenda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Don't be nervous. You're not allowed. Like just deep breaths, happiness. Okay, so I'm gonna pre-warn everybody today. I am on steroids, so I am talking 10 times faster than I normally do. I'm so sorry. I do work solely and strictly through God. You're always in charge of your own fate. You're always in charge of your own destiny. And I'm just going to go at it with you. And I'm sorry. Did your mom or did your sister pass?
Yes, my mom.
Okay. Was it your mom?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to say that now, y'all. Just we're going down for that one. Right before this started, I always like to make a call out for who's going to come through and picture to mom immediately. I need you to know, first and foremost, always with you, always together with you, apologizing to you. Like there's a lot of remorse. There's a lot of heaviness that goes along with her life. And I want you guys to know that she had two different faces. It was like the soul she was, and then what you guys saw of her. And it was almost like she had to pretend that she was somebody she wasn't to get through where she was. She had to pretend to be stronger than she seemed to be. She had to put on things and not say words that she should have said. You have to know how much she loves you. You have to know how important you look like her. It's almost like carbon copy. I need you to understand most assuredly, you did it right. You did not disappoint. You did not literally, it's almost like she's standing tall and proud that you're hers and that you're carrying on. Like she's literally handing a stick over to you going, okay, baby, it's your turn.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So what are you wearing of hers today? Here's a new one. I don't do this very often. What do you have of hers?
It's my grandmother's wedding ring. She wore it after my grandmother passed.
Yes.
And then when she passed, I took it.
So did you guys learn how to make, and I want to say pastries or almost like biscuits or almost like pancakes? I keep wanting to flatten things out with my hands. So it's like all three of you guys sitting in a circle, flattening things out with your hands. Please know that's just being shown to me. Also, stop worrying about your weight. Stop worrying about your health. You're okay. Big time. Okay. Because your shoulders hurt. Girl, you need a massage. Yeah, and the thing with your arms and your wrists, talk to me about that because I keep wanting to shake out my hands.
So my mother had carpal tunnel in both hands, and I feel like I do because I type all the time.
Yes.
I work at home on the computer all day.
Yeah. Get a ball, start rolling and bouncing while you're working. Okay. That way you get the guilt off of you for feeling like you're sitting down all day. Because that hits, you are amazing because you have 6 pockets of guilt. You're like, all right, so I'm not all the way good for my family, that pocket. Then I'm sitting around too long, that pocket. I'm not eating the right things, that pocket. I'm not good enough in my relationship. Stop.
Okay.
I want to hold your face like your mother would and tell you how freaking amazing you are. You're creating bad things in your own mind that aren't realistic. You're strong. You're beautiful. Go for a walk. Do your hair. Throw some makeup on that gorgeous face of yours and go stand by the water and enjoy a night of nothing. You need a break. So are you the one taking care of everybody as well?
Yes.
That's why I need you to do that. Yeah. Because it's like you're the grandmother. You're the mother. You're the wife. You're the everything to everybody. It's time for you to breathe. And again, they're so proud of you. Did your daddy pass as well? Or are you taking care of him?
I don't know who my dad is.
That's why he feels dead to you. Thank you, sorry. But seriously, I need you to know I would not be surprised if he's passed.
Right.
Because again, more remorse. Again, with your mom. Please just, So you have any questions?
Just severely overwhelmed.
Sorry, I warned you guys of being fast.
How does she feel about her granddaughter that she never met?
super proud. You have to understand something. Even though we think in the flesh that souls don't meet, we all have family up there. We're all connected in one way or another in our families. So a big thing you guys will hear me say a lot is she got to hold your baby. She got to hold your baby. And there's a song that you guys sing to the babies. Please know that's a big deal, okay? She was there.
Okay.
What's going through your mind right now, Zinda?
Overwhelmed. Funny thing, my daughter is watching this in the other room. So, it's going to be interesting having that conversation with her to know that her grandmother did get to hold her. Her grandmother did get to see her before she came to me. Because it's just her and I. We don't have any like blood family. We have chosen family, which is wonderful. They're wonderful.
God gives you everything you need, not necessarily what you want in your life. So are you in a current relationship now?
No,
that's
I'm
coming.
afraid to.
I know. Stop. That's coming. I need you to know that's coming. You're, of course, in charge of your own fate and destiny, but I keep seeing as a man of God, because you keep praying about this, but you don't take the steps to make this happen. And he's coming. You just have to allow that within yourself to be open to that. He's not going to hurt you.
Okay.
Thank you for all this today.
Thank you. You have no idea.
And I'm sending you guys so much love. And tell your daughter she's doing an amazing job. Tell her that everything that she's worried about is child's play. How old is she? Because I keep wanting to put her in like scrubs or making her a nurse, or what is she doing?
She's actually about to turn 11 in 2 weeks.
All right. Don't be surprised if she ends up as a nurse or a doctor.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Yeah. She's doing a great job. Literally, she's going to be
so
strong.
Much.
Of course, honey. And tell her too, this whole peer pressure thing, that's a whole nother conversation. Just please let her know she is not what people try to label her as.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's your question,
Thank
Calvin?
you.
What was it that you would make with your mom?
So during the holidays, we would make homemade rolls. We would make homemade pie crusts. We did everything by hand.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zenda, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to all to be so vulnerable.
Big hug.
Platypus Posse hug.
Yes.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Man, Stacy. Making people cry up in here today.
You know how it is.
I'm gonna have some comfort cookies.
Oh. We've got cookies in the studio.
Oh my God. So when you say the biscuit, like what, like if I think of like right now, if I say hamburger, like I'm thinking of like a double cheeseburger with, like I can see it in my mind. Is that what it comes to you as, or can you see like Zinda with her mother making the biscuit?
It's like as you picture that double cheeseburger in your mind, I'm picturing that same double cheeseburger with the extra pickles and how you have to have the 2 slices of cheese. And now, mind you guys, Miguel and I have never talked about the way he likes his burgers, but I can picture it in my head as if it's his head, if it's his memory. So with her, I could picture her hands with the dough as if it was hers, like as if it's my hands, but it was her hands with the dough.
But is it like, it's not for sure, because there's, we don't know exactly. So we don't know if it's a biscuit or a cookie or.
I just felt dough and like having to ball it up. And what you guys saw. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Because she said it was several different things, not just one thing. And that's why you just so fascinating.
It is.
It's insane. So
the other person has been waiting for a long time.
No, let's get to Angela.
Hello, Angela. How are you, love?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for your patience.
No, it's okay.
Angela, you know the whole story that we just kind of already gave to Zinda. So whenever, just you react how you gonna react, and we will let Stacy and you do your thing, and Miguel and Kelvin and I will back away.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so I work solely and strictly through God. This is gonna sound bizarre, and maybe it's both of you guys having this thing too, and don't judge me, you guys. Did you lose both of your parents?
No.
Are they both alive?
Both my parents are alive.
Okay.
But
who helped take care of you?
My mom. Oh God.
It's like Swiss cheese. You got more than just one big long story short, there's more than just your mom and dad who enriched your
Right.
life. And it's one of those things that we don't come across this very often, you guys. And I'm talking to Miguel and everybody because I don't get to talk about this very often on the podcast. When I have other family members who seem almost like parentals or super close aunts, uncles, grandparents, or even family friends that seem like parents, I call it Swiss cheese because there's holes and I don't get to exactly see how they're connected, but they're connected. It makes very strange sense. But so this is going to sound weird, and I'm not trying to go fishing, but you're a complex case, which makes me want to ask more questions than normal because it's interesting to me. Because are you also taking care of one of your parents right now or both of them?
I'm not, so to speak, taking care of.
Are they
either of my
living with
parents.
you?
No.
Okay.
I live alone. But it's just my mom and I. We have a really, really close relationship.
Yeah, like super,
and
like talk to every day, almost see her every day, kind of like she's around.
we don't see each other every day. She and I we live about an hour and a half away from
Okay.
each other. But we do talk pretty frequently. We are really close. She's going through some stuff.
Yeah, it makes me
She,
nervous. It's almost like what I'll say to people usually if I'm on a session, she's on your mind. And my very first thing would be, is your mom passed or is she very involved in your heart? Because as you know, I can feel through people. And what bothers me about this is that even if she's not here per se with you every day, she's on your mind and invested into your heart and mind as if she's around you all the time. Because it's almost like I don't want to be like, oh, it's a constant fear or constant worry. But even if you're walking day to day working, she's still in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
The things that she's facing seem to be very real and very scary. And even if it seems kind of mild in reality, it's still one of those things of a wake up call that she's not going to be here forever. Yeah. And it's a very hard concept to deal with.
For me.
Yes, I understand completely. And so and that's why I was wondering who else helped take care of you as well, because you've already lost the other important people. And that's the other really hard part too, is you're trying to at least wrap your mind around what kind of grief this is even going to be like, losing your mom.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
I have a what's the word? I have a very estranged relationship with my other parent because of what has happened. And I don't want to go into too much detail.
Nope, I understand totally.
It's a lot. So there's that abandonment aspect from that parent. And so, there's not much contact with that other parent. There's some here and there, but
Nothing's
it's
consistent.
more. Yes. And a lot of that has to do with them and how they are as a person. Which sucks, but it is what it is. That's beyond my control. And I've accepted that, even if I don't like it. Because I have no choice.
It's been like a death to you, though.
To some extent, yeah, because it's hard. Because I want to have a relationship with that person, and it's hard to when they aren't around and they have what they have going on.
And I was going to say, it's also a little bit of a lack of miscommunication as well, because you both are kind of looking at it in different perspectives. And I have a feeling this other person's also concerned with either overbearing you in the sense of what they're going through. They don't want to have to involve you because you're already going through so much with your mom. And does that make sense? It's almost like they don't know how to come into your life the way that you need them to. Does that make more sense to you? Because it's like they want to be there, but they don't know how to be there for you, which is why there's the inconsistency.
No,
You're
it's just
important to them.
Oh no, I don't doubt that I'm important to my dad. It's just there's always an issue of like, there's very much inconsistency with being able to contact him as far as, phone type situation. And he lives at least, 3 hours away. So I couldn't see him even if I wanted to see him. It would require going to see him. And
what kind of health issues are we looking at with your mom? I want to dig more on that because that's really bugging me a lot.
Well, where do we start? The poor thing took a tumble the other day, and she broke her arm. Yeah, she had already previously had surgery on her wrist. And so what ended up happening was she hurt her arm in two places. One place is like right near this like metal plate that she had. That was
this
put
all
in.
On her right side?
Yeah, like the rest of the injuries are pretty superficial.
Yeah. But what else is going on with her? Because it's almost like this is the one thing on top of another thing on top of another thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're not wrong.
Does she have other health issues going on? As far as like any kind of diseases or anything like that going on?
She has she has a blood pressure issue.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a blood pressure issue. And she's got arthritis issues.
I want you guys to watch her for blood clots. Okay. It's bugging me how much I'm feeling on her. Okay. And it is. And the Swiss cheese thing makes sense with your dad with all of that stuff because that's why it felt like there was a death of one of your parents, because on one hand, you got to keep an eye on your mom. She's not going to complain a whole lot of things either. And she's not all the way honest about other things the way that she's feeling. So you guys need to keep an eye on that.
You said she's not going to be honest about how she's feeling? Yeah, no, that is her to a T. She is one to. She has a very high pain tolerance.
Yeah,
she will
and
not.
Her body doesn't always necessarily like. Personally, when I'm going through stuff, and I've been in the ER with perfect numbers, and I've been septic. You know what I mean? Without my body knowing about it, or without doctors knowing about it, without blood work. So it's one of those things. Keep an eye on her, please. The other thing too, you and your dad are going to get closer. It just more communication needs to happen as far as understanding each other a little bit better, because it's a part of everything. Also, please know that your grandparents are with you and they love you immensely. I don't know if you have your grandmother's name or there's like a repeat of a name within that family on your mom's side, but that's a big deal. Okay. And please know you lost a cat, or did you lose the dog?
That's too funny. A dog years ago.
Almost like 8 to 10 years ago, correct?
Way more than that.
Well, just know that dog was very important and to, your life. I cannot thank you enough for this today.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much.
How are you feeling, Angela? You feel like a lot just happened inside your brain just now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stacy and I have talked once before, over the phone, and then we've been communicating since. Yeah. My main fear / concern / worry with regards to my mom is the idea of her getting Alzheimer's or dementia. Like a
likelihood, is it in the family? Is she showing symptoms?
Yeah. Her mother had it. And
is she exhibiting anything? Because it doesn't always just pass down.
Yeah. My mom has, I have concerns because I know that it can pass through the family.
Yeah.
So the other health stuff, I can live with it. I can work with it.
Right.
But I know that do what?
Fear. That's a fear for sure. But let's not put, unless you're seeing symptoms right now, like unless you're misplacing your keys a lot, you're losing your way in the house, like unless you're starting to see actual physical symptoms, don't let the fear get the best of you. Now, what you can do is have your mom, seen by doctors, seen by a neurologist, or even a geriatric psychiatrist. Even, I don't know her age, but somebody like that, and they can at least know that there's a family history, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to come to fruition, even if it's a fear of yours. Because listen, I've been there, okay? And it is horrific. And your mom is so important to you. So you obviously don't want that to happen. But that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Yeah. So
we're sending you some love, Angela.
Yeah,
we're giving you a big Platypus Posse.
Big hugs.
Platypus Posse hugs. Hugs as I'm trying to strain through.
Exactly.
In my inappropriate sweater.
In Kelvin's inappropriate shirt, he'll give you
no, I love Kelvin's inappropriate jersey over there. It's the best thing, because I did for a second think it said good luck, and then I went, oh no,
it definitely is not.
Say good luck.
I'll have a great St. Patrick's Day,
Thank
Angela.
you, Angela.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that is so. I always just hate that you can see when people are letting the fear of what could happen overcome them, because it's so hard not, because we all do it. We all stress over things that we think could be happening or might be happening when we don't. And so that's just human nature. It's like you have to sort of constantly remind yourself of it hasn't happened and we don't know yet.
Until you've gotten some sort of, and even then, like until you've gotten some sort of like actual real world sign that like things are about to turn, until that happens, it hasn't happened.
Right.
And it's not happening. It can be tough though. I understand that.
I have things to say. Are you ready?
Okay. Stacy told me she got some things to say.
I've got things to say. So she mentioned that I had talked to her before. Have we ever noticed? We've never had somebody who's been a client beforehand that they've ever come up on the show before.
And I didn't know that, obviously.
No, because usually what we
No.
do is we throw it out literally the last break of the show. And then we say, hey, the first 2 people that respond on Instagram will get you on. And so that's who we message first.
So the one thing that I want that we've never discussed before is that with repeat clients, I don't know them. It's like I'll know them, but I won't remember what we've talked about. I won't remember anything that I've said. I won't remember. I don't know how to explain it. There have been people that call that I've talked to 3 or 4 times. And the first thing I'll say, like, did we talk before? Because of like something urged me. But sometimes, and a lot of what's been happening too, is that people that'll call from the Platypus Posse will call and I'll feel connected to them and find out they're connected to you guys. And it's so interesting to me because I can feel them through this before we get started. But it's interesting because with Angela, I was blind. Like I completely did not realize I have talked to her before because I don't remember what I talk about in my sessions. It's very strange. And Miguel, you and I have talked about that where I can say 5 things to you, even just on a spur of the moment, and then boop, completely out of my head.
Is it awkward? Is it sort of like when we meet people and we're like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. And they're like, we've met.
Yes.
And you're
Because
like,
everyone's like, oh, you should know. No.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, obviously, they know because whenever you get a reading done, like that's very impactful and almost like a core turns into a core memory.
Right.
You do so many of them.
It's like, not even that. It's been one of my biggest things since the beginning of doing this, since sitting in front of Shapes Total Fitness, sitting at that table. And it's almost like I'm not here anymore. God takes over and I go. And I don't get to hear it. I don't get to remember. I don't get to. There have been a few times where I get to remember little bits and details. And there are clients that I get to click with and become best friends with. Speaking of, are you guys ready for my big announcement?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I'm so excited. I'm starting my own podcast.
I
know. I'm so excited. Me and my friend Sean. And Sean was a client that I literally spoke to him. I want to say it was like the day before his birthday, 4 years ago. And he and I immediately just hit it off. And he's somebody that I've spoken to at least every day since the day we met over the phone. And we've met in person twice ever. He lives in Orlando. So it's one of those things that's like, we're going to make this whole podcast thing work. And he's fantastic. But that's a perfect example. Sometimes I meet people and we immediately click and they become close friends. And then other people I'll have sessions with 6 or 7 times. And every session is something new. Every session is if I've talked to them for the first time. It's the most bizarre thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I remember when you did my session, you talked about like, I want to do a podcast, but I don't even know. And I'm like, girl, you already got the great topic to have that podcast. And
I don't want to talk to myself. And so, and Sean's phenomenal. And it's going to be very interesting because he's got a lot of my kind of personality, but he's way more put together than I am. So
can you give us what exactly is it going to be about? What if it was like the elevator pitch, what is this about?
So as he and I were talking about it, it's going to be Stacy and Sean, Good for the Soul. And it's going to be basically everything that I do and basic life, and how we deal through life. And it's going to kind of be like through or when we go through different things in our lives and using our stories to relate to help other people through their situations. And we'll be talking about energy and we'll be talking about spirituality and talking about pissing off people at churches. It'll be fine. Well, it's going to be great.
A little bit of everything.
I love it.
Can we also
it's a tossed salad.
We also wanted to talk about how Stacy told me about this podcast like a while ago, and she's like, I don't know who I would do it with. And I remember her posting it on Facebook, and she got like 200 comments.
200 comments, legit people I've never spoke to before. I'll do this podcast with you. Like, I had to find my peanut to my jelly.
Yes, and that's what's happening. And so I'm excited for you. Do you know when you're going to launch?
April. That is all I'm allowed to say right now is April. So we're getting together in the next couple of weeks to put everything together. So, you'll see. Watch my social media. So I'm super excited.
Congratulations.
That's awesome, Stacey. Is there anything else that we need to know about life, the universe, ourselves? Any last minute tidbits?
Watch your energy. Holly, you and I have discussed this on vague occasions here and there. Watch your energies. Watch how you distribute your energy and watch how you receive energy. Things are wonky right now, and definitely protect yourself, and definitely just make sure you're wary of who you're allowing into your force fields, basically, and make sure that you are super cautious of who you're allowing close to you. So that's my big thing right now, especially with everything being kind of wonky. I call them sometimes energy vampires, or people who seem really, really great, but you'll realize you're giving 90% of yourself to them and losing a lot and not getting anything back. And yes, you're a good person, but a lot of that too is that energy stuff that you need to be wary of. That's been going on a lot for a lot of my clients lately. So watch your energies.
Okay.
Energy suckers.
Yes. You don't need them. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you, Stacey.
I wish I could talk more to you, but we'll talk soon.
It's fine. You're good. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Calvin, that shirt, I need one. So
Girl, 75% off. Go to Spencer.
No.
I got you, dude.
No.
Could you imagine that on this chest?
Yes, I love it.
I'm just saying.
Girl, that FUCK would be. Yeah.
There's no hiding that here.
I love it. Thank you, Stacey.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I love when conversations like that happen and just zooming in on Holly's face. And Holly's just the whole time, literally just that last, just like 30 seconds just now, Holly was like,
always.
I got over it. I'm sorry. It was just small talk. We're done. We get it. The shirt. I'm sorry. I can't.
It's not that. It's more so.
Pretend.
It's just the mom smile, like the.
Well,
that's my fucking son being a dumbass.
I was still trying to be nice and present, but I'm like, can we move it along? Like, I love you so much, and I love your shirt, but it's not. I'm over it now.
I'm not taking it personally. I'm just dying at you're like.
I can't. Like the older I get, the less my face and my mind behave about. Oh no, I have a really hard time. I really have a hard time.
All right, I gotta go get some more tea. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
I love you.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.